everyone. Today we have with us Rishi Sharma and Muskaan Jain from Symbiosis Law School, Noida, who were adjudicated the winners of the Judgement Deliberation Competition, which was a part of the 14th Bombay Bar Association GLC Mumbai International Law Summit. And they were also given the award for the best written judgment. Firstly, big congratulations to you, team, for this success in this competition. Before we begin talking about your journey, I request you to please introduce yourselves to the audience.
I am Rishi Raj. I am from Symbiosis Law School, Noida, and I have pursued my BA LLB. I have just completed my course this year, and I will be pursuing my LLM from NLU Jodhpur in corporate laws, which is also one of the areas that I'm interested in.
Hi everyone, I'm Muskaan Jain from Symbiosis Law School, Noida. I'm in my third year, and I'm pursuing BBA LLB. And as of now, my areas of interest are constitutional law and international law.
Okay. To start off the discussion, please tell us about the nature and structure of this competition, and please also tell us about your team composition.
So, starting with the nature and structure, this was a judgment deliberation competition, and the team comprised of two members, one of which was a participating judge, and the other was a judicial clerk. So, the participating judge was tasked with presenting the judgment, while the judicial clerk was to note the pertinent points, comments made by other teams or by the judges, and also assist the participating judge while he was presenting. Regarding the preparation of the competition, preparation of the judgment, I would say judgment was to be prepared within the specified page limit that we were asked to in the capacity of a judge of ICJ. So this was a Herculean task for us. And the second round was the deliberation rounds, which included three sessions. First one was a presentation session, wherein the relevant points of the judgment would be delineated and explained. The second was the comment session, wherein the other teams, like in a room, there were 2 to 3 teams. So the other teams could also comment on our judgments and put forth their opinion in view of the same. The third was the concluding session, wherein we would summarize our judgment and also answer or appreciate the points put forth by other teams as well as the points put forth by the judges. This was the nature of the competition.
Right. So how did you prepare for this competition? So you can tell us what materials were you given in advance and how you made use of it.
So coming to the preparation wise, we were given the module of the judge or the module of the competition beforehand, as well as the rules. And subsequently, we were also given the clarifications. Apart from that, we had at our perusal Bibles of international law, so to say, the books. For example, if I could name a few, Malcolm Shaw International Law, then International Humanitarian Law, documents on law, force, and use of force, and several other books. These just to name a few. Coming to the strategy point of view, well, we did not have as in a very hard and fast strategy or a rule to be adhered to, but basics of what to follow when we are participating in any competition. So whenever there is a competition, there must be we have to get into the role and understand the role very well. So this was a very pivotal aspect of this competition as well, because herein we were not leading, we were not leaders, we were judges of the ICJ. Secondly, ensuring solidarity and coordination among the team members was very important, because it's like you act in when the other teammate is not able to, and you fill in the gaps. So we must complement and supplement each other. Thirdly, the law aspect. So the area in which the fact sheet is, one must know it very well. So given that you've done your homework well, will actually help in while the rounds are going on. So studying the fundamental aspect of the law is very important.
Right. So in your opinion, what specific skills would you say are crucial for excelling in judgment deliberation competitions? And how do you think can students develop these skills while in law school?
So I'll be taking this one. Actually, this was a unique competition by nature because there are obviously a lot of judgment writing competitions that take place by law schools across the country. But this was different because this also required not just a judgment writing, but a judgment deliberation from our end. One thing that I would like to mention is that this kind of competition and this kind of activity only happens other than GLC Mumbai at the Supreme Court of United States of America and the ICJ itself to promote an academic activity. So one of the specific skills that I would recommend is that first we need to switch off that moot mode that we have. We need to get on the side of thinking like a judge, wherein we have to weigh points from both sides and then we have to give a reasoned judgment by coming to a logical and analytical conclusion. We cannot have a moot mindset wherein we have to present an argument or present a submission. Secondly, this competition made me realize that how important it is to appreciate the I wouldn't say competitors, I would say fellow participants. Why? It's because they during this deliberation we came across certain very good points, and it was the part of this competition where we had to acknowledge also those good points that those participants have made. We could not just trump and just triumph over them just by making a you know point. We had to be behave in a very dignified manner. We And that was very important. So that was that. And for research purposes, researching skills, this competition was a gold mine. This competition helped us go through research material beyond our own thought process and beyond our regular sources. Why I say this is because writing a judgment is much more of a responsibility than presenting an argument, in my opinion. So to support our point, we cannot just rely upon what has been brought up before us, but also what we believe and how we have to put it forward with all the sources that are possible in the best possible manner.
Right. It is imperative that you must have faced a lot of challenges on your way to this competition. So, what were some of the most challenging aspects of the competition, so to say, and how did you navigate through these challenges?
Well, primarily during the written part, like the judgment writing part, it was important to understand that we were writing a judgment. So I'm very grateful to GLC and Spill Mumbai because they provided us with some sample judgments. And we also looked at the format of the competition on the YouTube. The past year final video was uploaded on YouTube. So it gave us a little bit idea. Another challenge for me personally was going through those vast texts and scholarly articles, because the problem this year was themed on international humanitarian law, and the problem was based on the contemporary situation in Israel Palestine, the case of South Africa versus Israel before the Honorable International Court of Justice. So uh, we had a little paucity of time as well, because we came to know about this competition a little late. So we had to rush through, but we had to use all the sources, so it took us a little time. The third challenge that I came across was during the competition when we presented our judgment. So the marking judges, the esteemed panelists who were marking us, they would often pose questions that were not part of our written judgment and that were not part of our written research. It was on the practical side of things, which we had not thought about. So that's when, we decided that how can we overcome. So our past moot experiences have taught us that we should always come up with some extra research at hand. It often happens that once we draft our memorials, once we draft our judgments, we just stop researching, stop reading, and we just delve into the speaking aspect. But I believe that it is important. Oratory skills, to brush them up, it's very important. But another important aspect is to keep on reading and keep on researching, to think on our feet, and the minutest of the points, the research papers that we think are most irrelevant, they come at hand and save us in the worst possible situation. So I believe extra reading at hand always helps.
Right. Apart from that, what would you say was the one learning that you took back home from the competition, and what advice would you give to students who are aspiring to participate in such competitions?
Well, this was personally my last competition, at the undergrad level. After this competition, I passed out. But I would say that this was one of the most unique activities that I undertook in the entirety of my 5 years. So my, taking away was that I realized and I learned the skill of judgment writing. I won't say that, I have learned it completely. Obviously, I need to brush up on it, but this was one of the most tedious experiences wherein I had to go through deliberations, research, go through legal provisions, problems, and then write and come up with a reasoned judgment, a reasoned conclusion. I could not hide behind the aspect that, okay, I'm just a pleader. No, I was a judge and I had to defend it to the all aspects. I had to cover all the bases. And this is my suggestion to my fellow law students, that please go through all those legal databases and websites where such competitions are announced and participate in them as early as you can. If possible, first, second, third year, of course. Fourth and fifth year isn't bad to participate in such competitions, obviously. But to participate as early as possible will help you develop analysis and analytical and thinking skills that will help you, in practical situations that come up when you enter the profession.
Right. Muskaan, any learning that you took back home from the competition?
The major learnings that I take back actually have been covered by my fellow teammate, but just pointing out few was that, again, once you understand your role well, it's very easy then to navigate. So you have to fit in the shoes of the judge, and we cannot be nasty, we cannot be sarcastic in our comments. We have to appreciate as well as pinpoint. We cannot pinpoint as well as uh, ask them to reconsider some aspects. So this was a very big learning, which I don't think moot court competitions teach us, but definitely this competition made us again rethink on the same. Secondly, intensive reading and extensive research. I think these are the two aspects which I shall always, feel that what helped us be the winners in this competition, because once you know the theme, once you know the law, it's very, very important to present it well. So, as he has just pointed out, that once the drafting of the judgment is done, you cannot just leave it. You need to keep reading. You need to keep adding on to what you've written. So definitely, these help.
Right. All right, team. Thank you for being here and sharing your journey with our audience. I'm certain they'll benefit greatly from your insights. Keep up the competitions, Muskaan, and all the very best for your LLM, Rishi Raj. Thank you very much for joining, and all the very best for your journeys ahead. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.